The Texas Parks and Wildlife television series is funded in part by a grant from the Wildlife and Sportfish Restoration Program. Through your purchases of hunting and fishing equipment and motorboat fuels, over $40 million in conservation efforts are funded in Texas each year. And by Texas Parks and Wildlife Foundation, helping to keep Texas wild with the support of proud members across the state. Find out more at tpwf.org. Additional funding provided by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram. Coming up on Texas Parks and Wildlife.
This is almost like therapy for me, because it doesn't exist out here. It's just gone. It goes away.
I kind of categorize Lavaca Rio Ranch as really, the pinnacle of what resource management should be like.
It was 30 years ago that the Texas Parks and Wildlife television series got its start. In 1990, the show introduced viewers to the ancient art of falconry.
Texas Parks and Wildlife, taking Texans outside for 30 years.
Robin Bradberry and her husband, Steve, just arrived at Mason Mountain Wildlife Management Area.
This is a good spot, though.
Yeah, I know.
They are here for a public deer hunt.
So I'm going to put out not a lot of corn, but I'm going to scatter quite a bit.
Make them work for it.
Yeah, exactly. It's still too thick right here, but I'll be able to see them.
Yeah.
Our hunting strategies go hand in hand.
And there's quite a few tracks right here.
She's extremely good at seeing signs and finding a good area. I'm pretty good at reading the land, seeing which way the wind's going and things like that. Bye.
Bye. Love you.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
I like it. I've never hunted in any place quite this open before, so I'm curious to see what shows up and how they move. Steve calls it nesting. It's good.
Steve sets up about a mile away.
Just getting settled in. I think we've got it positioned where just ease the gun out there.
Oh, there's limb deer and bush deer and leaf deer, rock deer, lots of rock deer. Well, when you haven't seen anything for a while, the mind starts making things into deer.
Robin has to keep her mind at ease, relaxed.
If I get into a situation I'm not comfortable with, then I'll shut down, go away. It really shows up.
It is autism. Robin has high-functioning autism. It's sort of like Asperger's, but with a much higher incidence of anxiety, stress, and depression.
Didn't go to prom, any dances. Don't dance. It's way too close. But like I said, I don't miss anything, because I don't know what it's like to have it. I don't want to talk about that anymore.
Robin is like many others on the autism spectrum. She does better away from the high-energy, high-stress world where most of us live our lives.
Fidget, Stormy. My chickens lay different colored eggs. There's brown eggs and white eggs, and occasionally I get a pink egg. Mop eggs! You always know deep down, you don't quite fit in, but you really want to, but you never will. What, this bucket?
Where you want that?
This bucket? Are you sure?
Most high functionings have learned coping mechanisms.
Come on.
I think that's why animal therapy is so good for autism.
These are all rocks that I've picked up over the years and a few artifacts. Other kids, you know, they're home playing video games and stuff, and I'm climbing in dirt piles looking for fossils.
Even at an early age, she knew she was dealing with something.
Thinking back, I did. I just didn't know it because it was normal to me. It was never pointed out, well, that's different. I was always called odd or strange or shy.
It could be crowds at the store or on the way to an amusement park.
This is it.
Anxiety is there.
I don't see too many people. This will be fine. I don't like it when people are behind me. I can't see them. It's my personal space issue. And how far away someone is really depends on the situation and who I'm with. So I don't like people behind me. I can put up with it. I just don't care for it.
Yes, Brittany,
There was a redfish. Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. It doesn't bother me at all.
No, no food for you.
Don't try to distract her. Try to keep her close, keep her mind off of it.
Why are you flexing?
What?
I don't think I'd be who I am if it wasn't for Steve.
You're imagining things.
No.
He's my support. He's really sensitive to when I'm getting uncomfortable, and he's always there.
Robin conquers her autism because of places like Mason Mountain. Here, her fears fade away.
This is almost like therapy for me, because it doesn't exist out here. It's just gone. It goes away. It's on the other side of that gate up front. It's not out here.
It's more serene out here. You don't have all of the movement of people and distractions. You come out here and you can focus on your surroundings more. You don't have to worry about avoiding people
And listen.
and you can listen, exactly.
Listen. There's nothing. There's wind. There's crickets. You don't have access to a lease or any way to go out on your own. You can get into these Texas hunts and get after some of these animals that you wouldn't be able to otherwise.
Wind's picking up a little bit. Not too bad though. I grew up in the city, so being able to come out here in the quiet solitude and just be able to watch all the critters, watch nature, that's what I get out of it. There's movement, there's turkey. You see the turkey?
And as the day ends, Robin sees much more than a couple gobblers.
Don't move. There's deer. There's deer. She's looking right at us. Okay. I'm trying to get my gun on. She's gonna spin. Don't move. They see us. Yes. She's down. Yes. Yes. I got a deer. I got a deer. Let's go see her.
Oh man, I could barely keep the gun still. The scope kept jumping around for some reason.
It's your heart.
Oh, yeah, that. Oh, it was thumping. I couldn't hear anything except that. Bum, 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 bum.
I feel great. I just harvested my first hill country doe. This is wonderful. There's some good meat there too. She's gonna be good eating. Taking it through the woods. No, my autism, I can function with it. Some people, they've lost arms, legs, they're dealing with cancer. I've got off easy. Hi, big boy.
There will always be obstacles to overcome in life. How you choose to overcome them is a personal choice. for Robin, she chooses how she lives her life.
If this is the worst thing that happens to me, my life is great. And look at this. My life is great.
Morning, welcome to Lavaca Rio Ranch. It's about a 5,000 acre ranch here in the northwest corner of Jackson County.
I kind of categorize Lavaca Rio Ranch as really, the pinnacle of what resource management should be like. The practices that are taking place on that ranch, I'd really put them up against any ranch in the state.
You have ownership that is taking steps to conserve the high-quality natural areas, to embrace those natural areas. So that's a new type of stewardship that's going on, a new trend we're seeing here in Texas.
What really attracted us to the property is the different ecosystems. We have the Lavaca River as the north boundary, lots of pecan trees, cottonwood trees, beautiful live oak trees. And then there's some topography relief coming up a sand hill onto more of the coastal plain.
And one of the other things we did early on was hire a fantastic ranch manager, Brent Friedrichs, who had a keen interest in improving the quality of the land and the habitat.
What's cool about this ranch is you got these big, deep sand hills, and the vegetation is awesome. We got little blue stem, switchgrass, Gulf Coast muley, which are all good nesting sites for quail. You can imagine if you were 6 inches tall running through here, you got your bare ground that they want. A little quail can get in here, a little quail nesting right in there. And they got plenty of, spots out here.
He's always asking questions. He's very open to different management strategies, or maybe something that might be a little bit unconventional.
Brent is what I call one of those all-around naturalists. He's interested in everything. He comes from a good stock as a biologist. He's got a great eye, good communication skills, and a really good knack about working with the public.
So we're very grateful that Texas Parks and Wildlife has taken an interest in seeing landowners try to get native habitat back into areas that have been diminished.
They have several special rare plant communities on their property. They're high-quality prairies. They have a lot of plant diversity in them, and they have some plants that are very special in the state. Now we're down to about 150,000 acres of coastal prairie. The fact that this ranch has 300 plus acres of intact prairie is unique.
These xeric sandhills have some of the best floor displays anywhere in the state. Elemendorf's onion. This is the one I was looking for today. So this is a globally rare onion. I'm very excited to see this here today. So. Boom, nailed that. So there's a nice little cycle going on here, and it's intact, it's doing its thing, it's thriving, and really don't have to put much input into it,
That's the deal, is the management part of it, just keeping us from messing it up.
Yeah.
It takes work, it takes time, it takes money. It can't all be done in a day, but I think, we're committed to make it the best it could be over the long term.
And there's a lot of work that needs to be done and continues to be done. Brent's really taken ownership and guided us through how do we maximize the opportunity.
If you work on the land and get a good solid base, everything else should fall in line. Really, we're just trying not to mess up what's already here. God made a beautiful ranch, and we're just trying to keep it that way.
It was 30 years ago that the Texas Parks and Wildlife television series, originally known as Made in Texas, got its start. To celebrate this milestone, we're taking a look back at some of the interesting stories and unique characters that we've discovered over the past 3 decades. In 1990, the show introduced viewers to the ancient art of falconry, as practiced in modern times.
A bird of prey in flight captivates the imagination. From Icarus to Armstrong, our fascination with flight draws our gaze skyward and makes us envious of the bird's power and freedom. The closest we can experience and participate in their world is through the sport of falconry. In medieval times, falconry was enjoyed and practiced from the far reaches of Orient empires to the heart of feudal England. Almost everyone practiced falconry, but their participation was as stratified as society itself. The type of bird on your fist directly reflected your rank in society. But who are the modern falconers of today?
I'm a sales rep for Cooks and Graphics.
I'm a carpenter, build houses.
I'm a horticulturist.
I'm a veterinarian.
I'm a student. I don't work.
Okay.
I'm the lucky one.
There is no typical falconer, or hawker as some prefer to be called. Perhaps their only common denominator is their fascination and love for raptors. For many hawkers, their birds are their lives.
Fallon? F-A-L-L-O-N. Everybody goes, who?
I had a red tail, was about 15 years old, and I got this bird here right now.
This is my first bird. I just caught her in November.
This is a hen Harris hawk.
Now this red tail, as you can see, has a red tail.
This peregrine is known as a duck hawk. However, this being a male of the species, he's not too successful at ducks so far. Being a young bird, I tend to fly him at pigeons or quail mostly.
This bird's taken 40 cocktails this year.
4 rabbits and a few rats and a snake.
I just love to watch the birds.
You know, they're beautiful birds anyway. Why not enjoy them? So that's why I got involved in it, was to just be able to enjoy the birds along with my husband too.
Which is more important, your bird or your husband? Tough question.
Birds of prey hunt in 2 distinct styles. Most hawks are still hunters, hunting from a perch. As the hawker beats the brush, the bird scrutinizes every move. When game flushes, the flight is on. Some hawks, like peregrine falcons, are avian predators and hunt other birds. Birds that hunt like this are called long wings because their wings are usually long, sharp, and pointed. This allows the bird to quickly accelerate, as well as enabling it to glide effortlessly across rising thermals. But the design of the wings is most effective when the birds want to dive or make a stoop. Peregrines are considered by many falconers to be the ultimate bird in this category, with a stoop that can exceed 200 miles an hour. Becoming a falconer is no casual pursuit. Birds of prey are protected species, and a novice falconer, called an apprentice, must be fully licensed and certified before he can acquire a bird. A game warden from the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department must also inspect the apprentice's facilities before certification. The apprentice must possess all the correct equipment to handle and train the hawk.
Oh yeah, you've got a good-sized weathering area.
The bird's quarters, called a mew, must be secure and well ventilated, with appropriate perches and shelter. In addition, the apprentice must score 80 or better on a written exam. When the apprentice meets all these requirements, only then may a bird be acquired and trained.
Yeah, very good. That'll work. You definitely say it, though.
The apprentice must be sponsored by a falconer that holds an advanced certification. The sponsor aids the apprentice in acquiring a bird and serves as an advisor through the training period. Taking a bird of prey for falconry is a serious commitment and daily responsibility. All birds of prey are protected by law, and it is illegal to possess even one of their feathers without proper certification. Falconry has a reputation of being an all-male obsession, but Marlene Endermark and Dottie Smith proved that stereotypes can be misleading.
I thought when I first got in falconry, I thought like a lot of things that are prominently male, I thought, oh gosh, I'm gonna have some problems being female. They're either gonna think, you know, you're not supposed, you know, you're too delicate to be out here, or you're not gonna be able to handle her catching a rabbit and eating it, and I didn't find that at all. It was amazing how well the falconers accepted the female falconers. It was just like you were just another falconer. I had absolutely no feelings of being a female and getting any kind of mistreatment or different treatment. They treated me just like one of the guys in a way. And it was really neat. I was really surprised. And they helped me out so much. I would not have had the training I had with my bird and all the fun I had with my bird without other falconers helping me out with things. Because it's a lot you've got to know. I never realized how much information and how much knowledge you have to have.
For Marlene, the welfare of her bird comes first. A busy college schedule restricted the amount of time she would normally devote to Fallon, so Marlene returned her bird to the wild.
That was a real sad moment, and I'd had her a year and a half, so I thought it was best for her to get back in the wild, but I had worked with her many hours in the field, hundreds of hours and hours in the field and at home and training her, and you're like a team. And after you do that, hours after hours, you get to really be close in a different kind of way. More different than maybe a dog or something, because she's not a pet, she's more like a friend. And so we worked a lot, and when I cut her loose and I saw her fly off over the horizon, it was sad, but it was happy in a way because she'll be out in the wild and free and be able to have a mate and have babies now, and she had her experience with me. And now she's back in the wild. But it is sad. It's really sad for your first bird. So it was a little harder to let her go because she was such a sweet, sweet bird. And we had become real good friends.
This series is funded in part by a grant from the Wildlife and Sport Fish Restoration Program. Through your purchases of hunting and fishing equipment and motorboat fuels, over $40 million in conservation efforts are funded in Texas each year. And by Texas Parks and Wildlife Foundation, helping to keep Texas wild with the support of proud members across the state. Find out more at tpwf.org. Additional funding provided by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram.